A brand new season is here, man. Now you guys are wondering what are the best class setups to run for Rebirth Island since they just added it into the game, and I got the answers for y'all, man. Now before we get on to the class setups, make sure you guys go on and drop a big fat like for your boy. Let's shoot for 2 likes, and if you guys are brand new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, man, for more bangers like this almost every single day. All right, y'all, so starting off with the 5th best class setup here, we have the BP50, man. This was meta in season 2 and it returns in season 3. Now for the attachments, we have the Spitfire suppressor, helps out with the recoil control, bullet velocity and damage range, and it keeps you hidden from the radar whenever you are shooting the weapon. Moving on to the underbarrel, we have the Bruan heavy support grip, and it helps out with the gun kick control, aiming idle sway, horizontal recoil, and the firing aim stability. Barrel, we have the Lore 9 heavy barrel, by far the best barrel to run on the BP50, and it helps out with the bullet velocity, damage range, gun kick control, as well as the recoil control and the firing aim stability. Magazine, we have the 45 round mag. This is the biggest mag that the BP50 has to offer. And finally, for stock here, we have the Moat 40 stock. Helps out with the gun kick control, aim down sight speed, aim walking speed, and the recoil control. And in terms of, strafe speed, this is by far the best weapon in terms of strafe speed in the game, period, man. You guys will see, like, if you guys ever use this loadout, you guys will see, man, whenever you're aiming and walking, you feel overpowered. It feels like Stalker Pro from Modern Warfare 3 if you guys ever played that game. So moving on to the secondary, we have the Ram 9. Now I know that they nerfed it in season 3, but I still feel that it is still one of the top contenders for the SMG category. It's probably the 3rd best SMG as of this moment. So for the attachments, we have the Zen 35 compensated flash hider, helps out with the vertical recoil control, horizontal recoil, and the firing aim stability. Moving on to the underbarrel, we have the DR6 hand stop, helps out with the aim down sight speed, aim walking speed, sprint to fire speed, and movement speed. So you get a movement boost with this underbarrel. Barrel, we have the Armsys light barrel, helps out with the aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, and the sprint speed. So pretty much a plus from the last attachment. Magazine, we have the 50 round mag, biggest mag on the Ram 9. And finally, for rear grip, we have the Retort 90 grip tape, helps out with the firing aim stability, gun kick control, and the recoil control. As for the tactical and lethal, we have stims. Now they did buff the C4s as of the last update, but I'm still rocking with the throwing knives for this class setup. And the perk package here, I'm pretty much going to use the same perk package throughout. We have Mountaineer, Double Time, Tempered, and High Alert. Probably the best perk package for Resurgence and Big Map. So moving on to the 4th best class setup here, we have the Hoger 556, man. They buffed it during the season 2 reloaded update. So starting off with the muzzle, we have the Spitfire suppressor, helps out the recoil control, bullet velocity, and damage range. Moving on to the barrel, we have the Cryo 6 match, helps out with the bullet velocity and damage range, recoil control, and the gun kick control. As for the optic, we have the Jack glassless optic. Now this optic helps out with visual recoil. This thing feels like it doesn't move whatsoever. Stock, we have the RB Adult Assault stock, helps out with the recoil control as well as the gun kick control. And finally, for magazine, we have the 40 round mag. Moving on to the secondary, we have the Striker 9. It received a huge buff in season 3. So starting off with the muzzle, we have the Zen 35 compensated flash hider, helps out with the vertical recoil, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability. Barrel, we have the Striker Recon long barrel, helps out with the bullet velocity and damage range, as well as the aiming idle sway. On the barrel, we have the XRK Edge hand stop, helps out with the aim walking speed, movement speed, aim down sight speed, and the sprint to fire speed. Magazine, we have the 50 round drum, biggest mag on the Striker. And finally, for stock, we have the Striker factory stock. Now this helps out with movement tremendously. It helps out with the aim walking speed, movement speed, and the sprint speed, something that you do need for Resurgence. Now moving on to the 3rd best build, we have the Bruan MK9. Now, you guys know the Bruin is by far the best, primary in the game. So starting off with the muzzle, we have the Spitfire suppressor, helps out with the recoil control and bullet velocity as well as the damage range. A barrel, we have the XRK Horizon V2 that helps out with the bullet velocity, gun kick control, and recoil control. Under barrel, we have the Bruin Heavy Support Grip, gun kick control, aiming idle sway, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability. Now, the pros by far outweigh the cons. Moving on to the magazine here, we have the 60 round mag. Now, this does help out with mobility. If you guys remember in Warzone 1, this was the mag to run, and in Warzone 3 here, nothing has changed. It helps out with the aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, and reload quickness. Now, for the optic, you have two options here. You have the Choreo Eagle Eye 2.5 times, which helps out with the medium to long range engagements, or you can go with my personal favorite, the Jack glassless optic. And you guys already know, man, this thing does not move, especially with this optic on. Your preference, my opinion, the Jack glassless optic is the way to go, especially for Rebirth, since it is such a small map. So moving on to the secondary here, we have the HRM9, best SMG in the game by far. Now, it helps out with the movement speed and all the stuff. Now, the build has changed from season 2 to season 3. So starting off with the muzzle, we have the Zen 35 compensated flash hider, helps out with the vertical recoil, horizontal recoil, firing aim stability. Now, they did nerf it, but in my opinion, like I said, it is the best SMG to run by far. So starting off with the barrel, we have the Thorn 90 barrel, helps out with the aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, and the sprint speed. So movement buff for you Resurgence demons. Under barrel, we have the XRK edge, aim walking speed, movement speed, aim down sight speed, and the sprint to fire speed. Magazine, we have the 50 round drum mag. Now, for the stock here, we have the folding stock. I don't think it has changed from season 2 to season 3, but it does help out with the recoil control, gun kick control, and the firing aim stability. So moving on to the second best build, we have the TR76 Geist. Now, this thing received a buff during season 2. Now, I know people that are using it in ranked play, which is absolutely crazy to think that a Modern Warfare 2 gun is in the meta conversation, but here we are, man. So moving on to the muzzle, we have the Cassius Break L, helps out with the horizontal recoil and the firing aim stability. Barrel, we have the Bruin Bridle 60, helps out with the bullet velocity, gun kick control, and the recoil control. Under barrel, we have the Bruin Heavy Support Grip, helps out with the gun kick control, aiming idle sway, and the horizontal recoil, as well as the firing aim stability. Magazine, we have the 45 round mag. Now, the optic, the Jack glassless optic, this thing does not move whatsoever, and it has a fast TTK up to 35 or 45 meters. I forgot the exact same number, but you get the point, man. It is very, very good for close quarter situations, especially since you are going to be playing on Rebirth or Vondel whenever it comes back. Now, moving on to the secondary, man. Best close range weapon in the game as of right now, we have the Renetti, man. This thing is practically unstoppable. So moving on to the attachments, we have the Zen compensated flash hider, helps out with the vertical recoil, horizontal recoil, and the firing aim stability. Under barrel, we have the SL skeletal vertical grip, helps out with the aim down sight speed, vertical recoil, sprint to fire speed, and the gun kick control. Magazine, we have the 50 round drum. Now, in order to make this overpowered, you do need to unlock the conversion kit, which is the Jack Ferocity Carbine kit. This pretty much allows the Renetti to be fully automatic, and it maxes out the bullet velocity and damage range, and it helps out with the aiming idle sway. As for the optic, we have the Nidar model 2023, man. The optic is essential because the iron sights are not it on this weapon, so I feel like this is the best optic for the Renetti pistol. Now, as of the best, Resurgence class setup by far, we have the SOA Subverter, man. This is by far the best weapon to use right now in Warzone, ranked, and in Resurgence. So starting off with the attachments here, we have the Zen 35 compensated flash hider for the muzzle. Like I said, it helps out with the vertical recoil, horizontal recoil, and the firing aim stability. Moving on to the barrel, we have the Dozer 90 barrel. Best barrel to run on the Subverter. Helps out with the bullet velocity and damage range, firing aim stability, gun kick control, and the recoil control. On the barrel, we have the Bruan heavy support grip. Helps out with the gun kick control, aiming idle sway, horizontal recoil, and the firing aim stability. 50 round drum mag for the magazine, which is the biggest on the SOA Subverter. And for the optic here, we have the Jack glassless optic. And like I said previously, man, this thing in terms of visual recoil, this thing does not move whatsoever. As for the secondary here, we are still rocking the Renetti pistols, man. Here are the attachments once again. The Zen 35 compensated flash hider for the muzzle. On the barrel, we have the SL vertical grip. Magazine, we have the 50 round drum mag. The conversion kit, we have the Jack Ferocity carbine kit. And for optic here, we have the NIDAR model 2023 optic. And so these are the top 5 class setups in, Resurgence. And you could use this for, big map as well, but mainly for Resurgence and Resurgence ranked. These are the weapons that you guys need to be using right now. Comment down below if you guys have used the Renetti pistols yet, man. This is absolutely amazing. I hope they don't nerf it, but they're probably gonna nerf it next week anyway. So yeah, man, it's been your boy Enigma. Drop a big fat like, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'm out. Peace.